Some of you may already know who our guest speaker is today, but some of you may not. And it's an incredible privilege of mine to welcome him today, Dean Tesler. Dean and his best friend, Bar Kupershtein, were working as security guards at the Nova Music Festival on October 7th. And Dean today is here to share his story. He's going around the world. He's been sharing and speaking, trying to make sure everyone knows and everyone's aware of what happened that day, as well as for those who can't speak. The chair we have here is for his friend, Bar, who still, almost a year later, has been held hostage in Gaza. Almost an entire year later. And so, Dean, it's really a pleasure and a privilege to welcome you to our Bima and to our community.
Hello everyone, Shana Tova, Chag Sameach.
Shana Tova.
My name is Dean Tesler. I introduce myself. I'm 22 years old, from Israel, from Cholon, 20 minutes from Tel Aviv. I'm released from the Army, Special Forces, almost 2 years ago. I'm released from the Army, start to work, I start to build my life. And October 7, I worked as security guard with my best friend, Bar Kupershtein, and unfortunately he's still a hostage. Both of us, we just came to work, not having fun or something. It's not our type, these kind of festivals. And our mission is to get back home together. And unfortunately, just me that survived. And our job, it was the security guards, but actually it's more to be a bouncer. So I will say it before, no weapon, no guns, no pistols, no nothing. Only pepper spray. And Bar's job was the highest level of the security guards. And my job at the Nova was the commander of the gate around the party. And when we saw the rockets in 6:30 in the morning, we got a call from the police and they told us, tell the people leave right now. So I driving on my ATV, Bar's driving on his ATV, and we're just screaming at the people, leave your stuff right now and go home. It not was easy. After 30 or 40 minutes, probably we got another call from the police and they told us we need to open emergency exits, that people can leave faster the party because it started to be really big traffic. I don't know if you know, but almost 4,000 people was at the festival. We opened the emergency exit to the main road, 232 road. By the map a little bit, I don't know who don't know. You have two kibbutzim, Be'eri from the left and Re'im from the right, and the Nova party was between them. So I opened the emergency exit together with Bar, and the police told us, tell the people going left to Be'eri. So we just listened to the police, and from the right, we saw a lady that she get out from the car, and she was bleeding from the head. And from that second, we start to think, why is she bleeding? It's only rockets in the sky. Unfortunately, we're used to it in Israel. We're going up to rockets in the sky. We take care of her, we take her to the ambulance, to the paramedic, and she told us the terrorists attacked them. And from that second, we realized that the terrorist is around us, but we don't know how many, or where exactly. We basically don't know nothing. And after a few minutes, the paramedic told me and Bar, listen, a lot of injured people in the road, they need help. So Bar and I drive into the same position and we saw more than 30, more than 40 injured people, that most of them, they get shot. And Bar and I, we start to take care of them with a tourniquet. We take branches from the ground, we take off the shirts from that person, and just trying to do a tourniquet after tourniquet after tourniquet. And it takes us probably an hour. After that, we open another emergency exit to a village that's called Patish. And who don't know, the biggest group that survived, they run to that village, Patish. And in around 8 something in the morning, we saw from Be'eri, we saw terrorists with their cars, jumping from their cars and just started shooting on us. And we are in the main road, 232 road. I don't know who watching videos from that day. You have really famous video that you see police car in the main road, and then all of the shooting start. At that moment, Bar screamed at me and told me, Dean, go inside to the party. It was safer in the beginning. So for me, I just listened to him. I started running inside of the party. And Bar decided to stay there in the road. And like I told you, we didn't be armed, no weapon, no nothing. From stories that I heard, Bar take a gun from police that died. He take care of injuries people. He take care of injuries police officer that get shot by the terrorists. And then Hamas take him a hostage. For me, from that moment when we split up till today, it was the last time that I see my best friend. From that moment, I just started running. I run into the party, get into one car, get out, and another one. After that, I hearing the shooting coming from everywhere. I tell myself that I need to run away. So I take with me a small group, maybe 10 people, and I try to lead them with me. And we start running into the woods, just running from bush to bush, shooting around us all the time. In around 10-something, 10:20, 10:30, I don't know, 10:30 maybe, we're running to another bush, and unfortunately we saw a terrorist really close. And unfortunately, I saw how the terrorist murdered most of my group. Only 1 second, most of my group just fall down and died. For me, I realized that they dead, and I need to keep running, so I keep running. Running by myself, bullets landing on the ground next to me, keep running. And after a few minutes of running, I jump to a cactus bush, and I'm hiding in the bush from 10:30 in the morning till 7 p.m. Yeah, I know, almost 9 hours. The longest, my 9 hours, my whole life. I jump to the bush, send locations to many friends, trying to get help. And what I heard is the shooting, it's the RPG of the terrorists, it's the Allahu Akbar, the Arabic music from their cars. And with all of that, I'm just inside of the bush, screaming of Israeli people. They're begging, please don't kill me in Hebrew, and I don't have what to do except to be inside of the bush. In around 1 p.m., I saw shadow of terrorists behind me. So I feel myself after a few minutes just crying, kind of, last video, this is what I think. Feel myself crying. In around 2 p.m., I start to do goodbye messages to my friends, to my family, to my mom. I did a voice message to my mom and I told her, Mom, I love you. Thank you about everything you give me in my life. I'm going to die. The voice message to my mom didn't send. It was really bad connection. And 2:24, my phone battery has died. So the last thing that my mom saw, it's me recording a voice message and then disappear. And I can tell you every minute after 2:24, it's feel for me, not hours, not months, years, completely years. And also I can tell you that second after 2:24, it was only between me and God. It was only to talk with God, ask from God, begging for God. And it basically was a few hours between me and God. In around 3 p.m., I realized that 3 terrorists come into my bush. They came from the right and just leave from the left. And they just passed next to me. For me, it was a moment that I completely accept my death and realize with myself that I'm going to die. But thank you, God, that they didn't saw me. The time is keeping moving. I'm waiting. Probably the time is 5 p.m. I'm hearing voices of, it's the police, but also with Arabic accent. This Israeli guy, soldier in the past. For me, the Arabic accent, it's like that. And I tell myself, it's not making sense that all of these hours, terrorists walking, shooting, and for just a few seconds, the police is here. So I stay in the bush. In around 6, I tell myself I need to do something. So I go out on my legs, but still in the bush, waving to helicopter, just wave, and the helicopter of the IDF just pass and pass hundreds of times, and they don't saw me. In around 7 p.m., I tell myself I need to do something. I cannot wait anymore in the bush. So just a few seconds before I start running again, I just freezing. Pray Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Start running, don't know where to run, still shooting around me. And what I saw is just bodies from the left, bodies from the right, too much people that died, too much cars that completely explode. And with all of that, I just see all of that and just keep running and keep running. After 30 or 40 minutes of running, I saw lights from the car far away from me. And then I tell myself, or it's the terrorists, or it's the IDF. It's kind of 50-50. So I start to screaming, help me, and thank you, God. Again, He sent me 2 soldiers from the IDF, 2 commanders. After that, they give me water. I charge my phone. I call my parents. I call my mom, tell her, Mom, I'm alive. In around 8-something p.m., I get out from the woods, and I got to the gas station. Then I got a call from Bar's brother, and his name is O, 17 years old. He asked me, where is my brother? Where is Bob? And I tell him, I don't know. Talk with me, what is going on? And then he sent me the video that Hamas posted. Hamas posted a video in October 7 in around 11 or 12 in the morning, Israel time, that you can see Bar with more hostages inside of room, inside of Gaza. And you can see my best friend on the stomach with the hand behind the back. I saw that in around 8-something p.m. And honestly, I just started to cry like I never cry. More than that, it was my first panic attack with myself. Barely I can breathe. You know, I even didn't realize with all of the trauma of October 7, and my best friend is a hostage. The one and the only friend that come with me to the Nova, not to having fun, only to work. And unfortunately, he's still a hostage till today. After that, they take me to the hospital. I met my parents. I was really excited. And the day after, October 8th, also one of the worst days in my life. After I opened the news, realized what happened on October 7, I started to get calls from my friends from my unit. And unfortunately, we lose our dear brother, Or Mizrahi, Zichrono Livracha. Mizrahi, one of my best friends, died on October 7. He was in a base, Kerem Shalom, fight against too much terrorists, and unfortunately he sacrificed his life to save the others. My personal commander, Eyal Klein, Zichrono Livracha, also was in a base, Kerem Shalom, also fight with too many terrorists, and also sacrificed his life to save the others. And this was my first days after October 7, that another friend of mine that I know is died. Another friend of mine is a hostage. Unfortunately, I know more than just one hostage. And yeah, this is the after October 7. And I want to tell all of you 2 messages from me to all of you that I hope so that you will take with you to all of your life. One of that, it's about appreciate your life. What does that mean to appreciate your life? So for me, obviously, my whole life there changed after October 7. Every perspective before October 7 completely changed. About myself, I can tell you I appreciate everything. And why? Because I am inside of myself in October 7. I'm already accept my death. So for me, to be exist in this world is a huge gift. Every day is a gift. And my opinion is people forget it. For people, you know, it starts to be obviously to wake up in the morning. It's obviously to be with your family, with your kids, husband, wife. Fight with your husband and wife, right? Like everyone. And nothing of that is not obviously. We need to know, we need to appreciate more. We need to understand that in one morning, everything can change. And we saw it a year ago, in October 7. So be more thankful. It's an amazing gift to exist in this world. People forget we're here only for a limited time. We not live for forever. 70, 80, Bezrat Hashem, 120. So let's be more thankful. And the second message is about faith and belief. Right now you see me with tzitzit, with kippah, but honestly, I'm be honest with all of you. Till 3 months before October 7, I was so non-religious that if religious is here, I'm in the outer room. Sorry, Rabbi. More than that, cheeseburger and pizza pepperoni was kind of every week. But something amazing happened 3 months before October 7. I work in an insurance company. I met a friend that his name is Ori. He became religious 4 years ago. And his older brother, one of the best friends of my old brother, we became really good friends. And he, in the first days, asked me, you want to come to Shacharit? So honestly, like Chiloni, leave me alone. After that, he try. I tell him I come with you. I go and pray first time Shacharit, after a few years that I didn't pray. And then I tell myself it's not really bad. And actually, it's really nice to go and say thank you and pray to God. And after that, I start to go with him every day to Shacharit. After a few days, week or two, I tell him, Ori, I want to take another thing on myself. What I can do? He told me, keep the kashrut. So I tell him, you're right. So Rabbi, no cheeseburger anymore. And after a few weeks that I get closer to God, I start to put tefillin every day. And I start 2 months before October 7. And then October 7 come. And like I told you right now, my story is about miracle, another one and another one. So for me, of course, I know that 100% I'm alive right now only because of God. Not because people love to tell me you have a luck and all of that, but honestly, it's not a luck. It's God and only God. And about myself, today I have more faith and believe in God than I've ever been in my whole life. I feel God, I talk to God, ask from God, and basically everything with God. And I want to tell all of you about faith and belief. It's what I think. Faith and belief is not about if you're Jewish, if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, if you're from India. Doesn't matter where you're from. The faith and belief, it's you believe that you have Father in the sky that will protect you and will help you. And for me, the faith is the best psychologist that I have. Of course, I have psychologists every week. I'm doing what I need. But be with the faith and believe that everything is from a good reason. Also, when you listen to right now to a survivor from the Nova, I can tell you about the Nova the same. Of course, 364 people murdered in a really bad way at the Nova. But when I say, let's try to see the good things and the bad things, I will give you an example. Imagine to yourself that these hundreds of, if not thousands of terrorists will come to the Nova and will do all of the crazy things that they did. Then what will happen? I will tell you exactly. All of these terrorists will go inside of Israel. Get to Ashdod, Rishon, Tel Aviv, Haifa, all over of Israel. So of course, 364 people not with us anymore, but they saved thousands of lives of inside of Israel. So when I say try to see the good in the bad, it's an example. And let's be a better person. Let's be a better people for all of the people with us right now. If it's the soldiers that sacrifice their life every day, only yesterday 8 soldiers in the Special Forces of Israel in Lebanon. And for all of the hostages that they cannot celebrate the Rosh Hashanah, they cannot be with us, they cannot be with their family. And all of the soldiers and all of the people that are suffering right now in Israel, let's be happy and better for them. And I want to say all of you, thank you very much that you listened to me. And Chag Sameach, what I can say.
Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach. Dean, your story really is incredible. And I've heard a couple of times now, but each time there's different details as you can really tell so much of this day that, even though it was a day, I know felt like a lifetime. To imagine that it was 10 o'clock, was just the first few hours when all of that had happened and the time you spent in the cactus and the bush. But one of the things you talked about in one of the other interviews I've heard you talk about is that when you came back to the spot.
Yeah.
And just briefly, it's such a tremendous story. Do you mind sharing that part with us?
Yeah. Because before you said that I have like 20 minutes, so I try my best right now.
That's why I'm asking the question, but I get you to say a couple more things. We're doing a few more minutes for everyone. I don't think anybody is going to complain that you're here too long with us right now. Your story is tremendous.
No problem. So, one thing I didn't tell in my story, it's in between the hours, 10:30 in the morning to 7 p.m. that I'm in the bush hiding. In around 4 p.m., I think I'm hallucinating from no water and no nothing. It's really hot inside of the bush. and I start to smell really bad smell of smoke. That with the hallucinating, I tell myself, then they're going to burn you alive right now. Then I start to think to myself, I'm going to fight with them, I'm going to stay in the bush. And one message of a really good friend of mine that he texted me around 11 or 12, don't do stupid things, stay in the bush. So this message has been in my mind all of these hours, and I tell myself, if the terrorists really want to burn me alive, so I don't care, I will stay in the bush. And go back to the moment that I saw the soldiers, and it was around 8 p.m., 7:40 I think. And they asked me if I saw more survivors, and I tell them no. In the morning I run with a group of people that they murder, and I've been 9 hours in the bush. So they asked me if I want to go back to the bush and search more survivors. Honestly, till today, I don't know why, but I tell them, let's go back without thinking twice. And when we're back, I coming closer to the bush. We don't found any survivors, unfortunately, but the bush next to me was completely burned, on fire. And to me, I tell myself, then it not was illusionating the smoke that you smell, and it's actually the bush next to you was burned, and not my bush. So it's kind of another miracle in my miracle story, and thank you God for that. Too much miracles.
And it's amazing to me that you walked away from this experience with this appreciation for life. Like, I understand it, but I can't imagine, I don't think any of us really can. How is your life different now? Like, in the way that plays out for you? Like, no one should ever go through such a thing. But what can you tell us for this year to come, right? What can we do differently? Because this year, that's what we talk about, Natana Tokef, who will live and who will die. And the truth is, everyone will at some point. And so you who accepted it, who faced that head on, how can we try to capture some of that new attitude that you found?
So I think when people realize with themselves, like you say, that we don't live forever and we have only limited time, and people will realize that we don't know what can be tomorrow, so maybe then the people will be more appreciative and more thankful about their life. Because it's also making sense, every person have his life, have his work, have his family, in his bubble of his life. But if you do a zoom out and thinking from different perspective, or hearing my perspective after that I'm accept my death, people need to understand that we really don't know what can bring us tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen in a second, in a minute. And when the people realize that we don't have a time to spend, their life will be more beautiful because they really appreciate every moment that they have. About myself, of course, after accept the death, it's not really nice thing to do. And of course, for me, every day it's a gift, because for me, I should die on October 7th, but God gave me a second chance. So I want that no one of you will feel the same way that I feel on October 7th, and no one of you don't need to accept their death. But try to listen from someone that I have all of the reason to be in bed right now, to be in Israel, to cry. I have all of the reason to not leave my home because I lose too much friends. I saw too much terrible things. My best friend is a hostage. But no, actually a year that not even one day I fall to the bed, not even one day that I spend my whole day in the bed and don't talk with nobody. Actually the opposite. After October 7, I started to speak about October 7. More than I can tell you, I make 3 tours. Now is the 4th one. Every tour was in America, and last time I've been here in Toronto also. I kind of found my mission right now. If it's to tell about October 7, if it's to talk about my best friend that's still a hostage. And we need to be more thankful, really. Nothing is not obviously, and let's be more united is what I can say.
It's really a pleasure to welcome you to Beth Torah and to have you share your story with us. And just thank you so much for your willingness to share it and Please, just can we have one more for...
Thank you.
And I know your friend Bar, right, was someone who not just is a good friend to you and there for so many, and on the day of, someone who was a hero who went towards the bullets, towards the gunfire, towards the danger to help people. But he was, for his family, I know, incredibly important because could you just share just a little bit briefly of just that?
So Bar Kupershtein is the oldest one. They 5 siblings. And about their family, they're not suffering only from October 7, unfortunately. 5 years ago, Bar's father, Tal, was on a call. He volunteered in an organization, United Atzala, Eli Beer, probably you know the organization. And he was on a call to help to a little kid. And some woman was at the phone at the same time, hit Bar's father really badly. He almost died in that day and did a lot of surgery. And unfortunately, after 3 months, been through also with a stroke. And till today, he's disabled on a wheelchair. And Bar is the oldest one. And I can tell you 5 years ago, we've been still in high school. I remember that Friday, and like it was yesterday. And from that day with the accident until October 7, because Bar is the oldest one, Bar is started to be kind of the father of the house. If it's to work, if it's to help the family, if it's to do everything that father needs to do for the house. So he started to do it since he's 17 years old. And this is also the reason that we both of us been at the Nova as a security guards and not having fun or something. I told you, it's not his type, it's not my type, these kind of festivals, with all of the respect that I have to the other survivors. And we work because I need to help to my family, he need to help to his family. And unfortunately, taking a hostage when he take care of the others till the last moment. And more than that about Bar, I can tell you, we're growing up together, 7th grade till 12th grade, the same class with the same classes. So every time that the teacher kicked me out, she kicked me out together with Bar. Yeah. Troublemakers, you know.
It was the cheeseburgers and stuff.
And more than that, we go into the same day, to the same unit, to the same room in the army for the first few weeks. And every holiday, it's kind of to be in their family. And his family is kind of my second family. His little brother is kind of my brothers. And about this guy, I can tell you, first of all, he will be my hero all of my life. He was the only one that told me to go inside, and if not, he won't not tell me that, probably I will not stand here right now. And yeah, kind of he saved my life also. And he's kind of the friend I can tell you that really easily and really fast take his shirt off and will give it to me in any case, in any moment. And for me, he's a hero. And people need to know that Bar Kupershtein, take care of the others, take care of me also, did amazing and crazy tourniquet that I'd never seen my whole life, you know, to take branches in the ground and take shirt and just make from that tourniquet, it's good luck to you, like, you know. And no, for me, he's kind of my brother for life. I know him 10 years already. I miss him a lot. I don't speak with him too long like right now, 1 year. And I'm waiting and hope every day, believe that he will soon come back home, Be'ezrat Hashem. And who is pray and candles and Friday and all of that? Bar Avraham ben Julia. Who is pray? I don't want to push on you or something.
But I want all of us to know his name, think of him and all of the hostages right now that have spent a year away from their families, a year. And it's, I can only imagine when I was your guys' age, what I was worried about. And here, even before this, he was taking care of his family. He had to step into that role. And I know that you've stepped in to look out for his family, and that Bar's younger brother has been on this tour with you and is traveling. And thank you so much, Dean.
Thank you.